Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny. At first glance, it might look like just another modern penny, the kind you'd find rolling around in your pocket or tucked into a corner of a wallet. But what if I told you that this tiny, copper-plated steel coin has a story of rarity, mystery, and extraordinary value? What if one of these unassuming coins was worth an astonishing $16 million? Welcome to the captivating story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2011, a coin that transformed from a simple piece of change into a collector's dream. The year 2011 was a time of transition and reflection in the United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth II had already celebrated nearly 6 decades on the throne, and the Royal Mint was continuing its mission of producing coins that combine practicality with national pride. The Royal Mint, one of the world's oldest and most respected mints, had been creating coins for over 1,100 years. Every coin it released carried not just a denomination but a piece of British identity, and the 2011 1 penny was no exception. In 2008, the Royal Mint introduced a dramatic redesign of UK coinage. The reverse sides of coins from 1p to £1 were given a fresh, contemporary look that, when placed together, formed the Royal Shield of Arms, a symbol of national heritage. Each denomination featured a different part of the shield, and the 1 penny proudly displayed the lower left section of this magnificent emblem. The 2011 version of the penny continued this modern design, featuring the intricate detailing of the portcullis, a gate often associated with British strength and tradition. Though small, the design was powerful, a subtle reminder of the monarchy's enduring presence and the country's proud past. The obverse of the coin featured the fifth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, his depiction of the Queen was both realistic and dignified, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a timeless piece of jewelry gifted to her as a wedding present. The inscription surrounding her portrait read, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2011, which stands for Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Each element, from the tiara to the lettering, was crafted with precision, reflecting both the majesty of the monarch and the artistry of modern minting. While millions of 1 penny coins were produced in 2011, a small handful emerged with unique features that set them apart from the rest. These variations, often caused by minting errors, have become the subject of fascination for numismatists and collectors. In rare cases, coins were struck on the wrong metal planchet or featured subtle design misalignments, details nearly invisible to the untrained eye but monumental in value to experts. A single misprint or incorrect metal composition could turn a coin from an ordinary penny into a priceless rarity. Imagine a coin that escaped the minting floor with an incorrect blank, perhaps a planchet intended for a 2-pence coin or one of a slightly different composition. When such an anomaly slips into circulation, it becomes an accidental masterpiece, a one-of-a-kind creation that collectors spend years hunting for. Over time, stories began to circulate of the 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny with unusual characteristics, off-centered strikes, doubled lettering, or even a copper finish that seemed slightly different from standard issues. These minute distinctions, barely perceptible to most, fueled an obsession among enthusiasts eager to uncover a hidden treasure. To appreciate the allure of the 2011 penny, one must understand the sheer craftsmanship that goes into creating a coin. The Royal Mint uses advanced technologies, including laser engraving and precision striking, to ensure consistency across millions of coins. Yet even with such precision, rare mistakes can occur during the production process, and these errors, rather than being flaws, become invaluable markers of rarity. The standard 2011 1 penny was struck from copper-plated steel, weighing 3.56 grams and measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter. It had a plain edge, a simple but classic design choice that allowed the focus to remain on the detailing of the coin's faces. What made 2011 particularly interesting, however, was the evolving role of the penny in British society. By that time, the value of a single penny in everyday transactions had diminished considerably. Many viewed it as a coin of little consequence, useful mainly for rounding prices or giving exact change. But in the world of numismatics, even the smallest denomination could carry a fortune's worth of value, depending on its story. The story of the 2011 Elizabeth II penny also intertwines with the broader narrative of the Queen's legacy. Queen Elizabeth II, who ascended the throne in 1952, was by 2011 a global symbol of continuity and grace. Her image had graced coins for decades, and each successive portrait captured a new phase of her reign. Collectors often see coins like the 2011 penny as part of this larger chronicle, a tiny metallic timeline marking the evolution of a monarch who defined an era. For many, owning a coin bearing her image is like holding a piece of living history. As collectors began studying and cataloging coins from 2011, reports of rare and error varieties surfaced. Some featured an incorrect die alignment, others bore faint markings or color variations caused by subtle shifts in the metal composition. These imperfections made certain coins incredibly rare, and with rarity comes immense value. The coin market thrives on uniqueness. A single known specimen can ignite bidding wars among collectors eager to add such an elusive piece to their collections. The appeal of the 2011 penny extends beyond rarity. It represents a moment of transformation in British numismatics, a blend of modern design, traditional craftsmanship, and accidental perfection. It's also a reminder of how something so small can hold immense cultural and historical weight. Each coin tells a story of the country that produced it, the era it was born into, the monarch it honors, and the technological artistry behind its creation. In recent years, stories of record-breaking coin sales have captivated the public imagination. A single penny, long forgotten in a drawer, discovered by chance, can sell for thousands or even millions at auction. The 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny has joined this prestigious league. Some rare examples, particularly those with minting errors or unique characteristics, have fetched staggering sums. While ordinary versions of the coin remain worth just a penny, a select few have commanded prices that defied belief, climbing into the millions, depending on condition, provenance, and rarity. Imagine the thrill of discovering one of these rare coins in your own change, an overlooked treasure worth a lifetime's fortune. This is the magic of coin collecting, the possibility that history and value lie hidden in plain sight. A small glint of copper might hold a story spanning centuries, a connection to monarchs, mints, and makers who shaped a nation's currency. Top 2. The famous Elizabeth II 1 penny 2009 coins, a coin so ordinary to most people, yet for collectors, one specific version would become a treasure beyond imagination, a coin worth not 1 penny, but millions. Imagine this. A coin that most people would overlook, pass from hand to hand, or drop into a charity jar, suddenly becoming one of the most desired collector's items in the world. How could something so small, so seemingly common, rise to such immense fame and unimaginable value? That's the fascinating story of the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin. The coin's story begins with the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait has graced more coins than any other monarch in history. By 2009, her image had already become iconic, symbolizing stability, heritage, and the enduring spirit of Britain. The obverse of the 2009 penny proudly features her likeness, designed by the talented Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, can be seen just beneath the Queen's neck. His design, introduced in 1998, was a striking update from the earlier, more delicate portraits of the Queen. Rank Broadley's version captured her maturity, dignity, and regal authority, a true reflection of her decades-long service to her nation. Now, flip the coin over, and the reverse tells an equally fascinating tale. In 2008, just 1 year before this coin was struck, the Royal Mint introduced a new design series for all circulating UK coins. For the first time in history, the designs across the denominations, from 1 penny to 50 pence, were interconnected, forming the complete royal shield of arms when placed together. This was the brainchild of designer Matthew Dent, whose innovative idea brought a modern twist to centuries of heraldic tradition. The 2009 one penny carries a segment of this grand shield, specifically the lower right portion of the design, showing part of the royal arm's second quarter, featuring the lion rampant of Scotland. This was not just a design change, it was a symbolic moment. The new shield design marked a new era in British coinage, uniting all the coins under one bold visual identity. For collectors, it represented both continuity and innovation, blending the deep heritage of British heraldry with the forward-looking creativity of modern design. The coin itself was struck from copper-plated steel, weighing 3.56 grams with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. While earlier pennies were made of bronze, the shift to steel was a practical decision. The cost of copper had risen significantly, and the mint sought to maintain production efficiency without compromising quality. But little did they know that in these humble materials, an extraordinary rarity would emerge. Among the millions produced, a tiny number of 2009 pennies bore mysterious and rare anomalies, variations in strike, die errors, and in some cases, unexpected mismatched designs or minting inconsistencies. These were not visible to the casual observer, but to the keen eyes of numismatists and collectors, they stood out like shining stars. Some coins featured misaligned dies, creating a slightly off-centered strike. Others displayed double striking errors, giving the Queen's profile or the shield an unusual shadow effect. A few had plating flaws, leaving silvery streaks of steel visible through the copper coating. But perhaps the most legendary version of the 2009 penny is the proof strike with a unique die mark, believed to have been produced in extremely limited numbers, possibly fewer than 10 examples, during the testing and transitional phase of minting. These coins were never intended for circulation. They were created to calibrate the new shield dies and assess the striking quality on the copper-plated steel blanks. Somehow, a handful escaped the mint's control, finding their way into circulation or private collections. It is these coins that have become the holy grail of modern British coinage. For collectors, the fascination with the 2009 Elizabeth II one penny goes beyond its rarity. It represents a turning point in the story of the penny itself, a denomination that had been part of British life for centuries. From the early hammered pennies of medieval kings to the industrially produced bronze coins of the 19th century, the penny has always been a symbol of everyday life in Britain. Yet, as the digital age advanced and physical currency began to fade, the 2009 penny became one of the last true symbols of Britain's coinage heritage before contactless payments began to dominate. Numismatists are drawn to the 2009 penny not only for its design but for its story, a story that connects the past to the present. Each coin is a miniature time capsule, linking the ancient art of minting to the modern world. And in the case of the ultra-rare variants, owning one is like holding a piece of modern treasure that bridges centuries of royal history. Top 3. Today, we journey deep into the captivating story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II one penny 2014, a coin that, while seemingly ordinary, holds a fascinating legacy and an unbelievable value, reaching as high as $13 million. Our story begins in 2014, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in British history. This was a time when the Royal Mint was steadily modernizing its production methods while preserving the traditions that had defined British coinage for centuries. The penny, though the smallest denomination in circulation, was more than a piece of metal. It was a symbol of the continuity of the British monarchy and a living record of change across generations. By 2014, the penny had already undergone numerous transformations since the decimalization of British currency in 1971. Gone were the pre-decimal pennies that bore the likeness of kings long past. The modern one penny carried with it a new design philosophy, one that combined national pride with artistic innovation. In 2008, the Royal Mint introduced a radical redesign of British coins, and this new style continued into 2014. The coins now formed part of a clever, interconnected puzzle. When arranged together, they revealed a full image of the royal shield of arms. The one penny piece bore a section of that shield, creating a striking modern identity while linking it to the monarchy's heraldic roots. On the obverse, or heads, side, the 2014 penny proudly displayed the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the artist Ian Rank Broadley. This design, first introduced in 1998, was widely recognized for its realistic and dignified representation of the Queen. Unlike earlier portraits that softened her features, Rank Broadley's version emphasized a mature monarch, confident, wise, and deeply symbolic of the nation's endurance. Around the edge ran the familiar Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, standing for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse of the coin, designed by Matthew Dent, was a modern masterpiece. It showed the lower right section of the royal shield, a design chosen through a national competition that sought to bring fresh life to Britain's currency. Dent's idea was brilliant in its simplicity. Each coin, from the 1p to the 50p, would form part of a larger image when placed together. This concept made even the smallest coins feel connected to the broader national story. The 2014 penny, therefore, wasn't just a coin, it was a piece of a greater whole. Struck in copper-plated steel, the 2014 1 penny replaced the earlier bronze alloy used in older coins. This change was made to reduce costs and improve durability. The coin weighed 3.56 grams, measured 20.3 millimeters in diameter, and had a plain edge. Though millions of these pennies were produced for circulation, the Royal Mint also created limited collector's versions in brilliant uncirculated and proof finishes, minted with precision and care, sealed in protective packaging, and admired by numismatists worldwide. But here's where things get truly fascinating. While the standard 2014 1 penny was common in everyday use, certain versions of this coin have become incredibly rare due to minting errors, special proof sets, and limited edition releases. Some were struck on older bronze blanks accidentally, creating a mix of materials that collectors go wild for. Others featured faint double strikes or slight misalignments, imperfections that, paradoxically, made them priceless. A single 1 penny coin with such an anomaly could elevate its worth from a mere cent to millions. Imagine holding a small copper coin that, to the untrained eye, looks ordinary. Yet upon closer inspection, you notice something slightly off: the color, the texture, perhaps the sound it makes when dropped. What if that tiny detail revealed that you were holding one of the rarest minting errors in British coinage? For dedicated collectors, such moments are the heartbeat of the hobby, the thrill of discovery that transforms metal into treasure. The Royal Mint's meticulous standards make such errors exceedingly rare. Every coin passes through layers of inspection, but occasionally, a few pieces slip through with unique features that set them apart forever. Some 2014 1 penny coins, for example, were found with a faint ghost image of the Queen's portrait on both sides, a minting misalignment caused by a double press. Others bore die cracks, fine lines running across the surface, visible only under magnification. These anomalies, though accidental, add a layer of personality to each coin. No two era coins are ever exactly the same. Beyond minting errors, another factor elevating the 2014 1 penny's value is its place in historical context. By 2014, Queen Elizabeth II had already celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, marking 60 years on the throne. Coins minted during this era are viewed as significant historical artifacts, symbols of stability during a rapidly changing world. Collectors often look for pieces that represent the milestones of a monarch's reign, and 2014 stands out as one of those pivotal years before her final portrait change in 2015. Adding to the mystique, some proof versions of the 2014 1 penny were part of special Royal Mint sets, available only in limited numbers. These sets were struck with mirror-like finishes, sealed in presentation boxes, and often sold directly to collectors. Over time, these sets became scarce, as many were split apart, their coins lost or resold individually. A complete, untouched proof set featuring the 2014 penny can now command astonishing prices on the collector's market. This is the magic of numismatics. This is the story of a coin that defied all odds and became one of the most talked about collectibles in modern British history. And as always, here on HD Ultra Rare Coins, we remind you, check your change, because your next penny could be worth a fortune.